As we've been looking at in Unit 6, a BCA table can only be used with units of moles. This is because the balanced chemical equation is balanced based on number of atoms and number of molecules, which are all particles, and a mole is just a group of particles. So we can't use mass in grams to compare amounts of reactants products because the atoms that make up these reactants and products are different sizes. We want to be able to compare the number of particles without worrying about the fact that the particles are different sizes. So before using the BCA table, any measurements that are in grams must be converted to moles. After using the BCA table, you can take any measurements from the BCA table in moles and convert them to whatever unit that you would like, including converting back into grams. As we learned back a couple of units before, molar mass is the mass of one mole or one group of atoms, molecules, or formula units. The molar mass can be found on the periodic table. For an element, the molar mass is just the mass on the periodic table. For a compound, the molar mass is found by adding up the masses of all the atoms that make up one molecule or formula unit. I'm going to do two quick examples to remind you of how to convert from grams to moles and moles back to grams using molar mass. And the first one, and we're going to use factor label methods, so you're going to start with what you're given in the problem, 52.1 grams of C2H6. And we're going to multiply, we're going to use the molar mass as a conversion factor here. In this case, we're trying to cancel out grams, so with the unit of grams on the bottom and 1 mole on the top in our conversion factor. And we're going to look up the molar mass of C2H6, and it is 30 grams in 1 mole. So grams cancel out. We're left with units of moles, which is what we want in order to use a BCA table. So 52.1 divided by 30 is 1.74 grams of C2H6. I'm really going to start emphasizing labeling your answer with both the unit, in this case grams, and what chemical you're talking about, because we're doing a chemical reaction. There's going to be 3 or 4 different chemicals involved in the reaction. You want to keep straight which chemical it is that you're talking about. For the second example, we're given moles. This might happen after you've used the BCA table, so you know the moles of some substance. In this case, it's moles of carbon dioxide. We're going to use molar mass to convert moles back to grams. So the molar mass of carbon dioxide is 44 grams in 1 mole. And we're going to put the 44 grams on the top and 1 mole on the bottom this time, because we want moles to cancel out and we want to be left with units of grams. So there are 44 grams in 1 mole, but we have 3.75 grams. 3.75 moles. So there are 165 grams of CO2 in 3.75 moles of CO2. So you've seen 2 example problems. You can probably go back and find more examples back in Unit 5 if you need more examples. Now it's your turn to practice.